I'm going to step right out of the way to show you something. They just got the vehicle involved in this troubleshooting up on that tow truck to take it away from the scene. We do know 3 people were shot here at Cross and Roosevelt. One of those people that was in the car died here on scene. We know that 40 people were injured. 1 child was killed. The latest information we've gotten in is that Arkansas Children's Hospital says they have children who have come to ACH to receive treatment. This right here gives you a look at just how big this tree was that fell across MacArthur Drive, blocking the roadway and taking down power lines. Where I'm standing right now is where we were doing live shots on Saturday. We had our car parked here. We were standing here with the camera. The Scott Fire Chief was actually with us, and now you can see I'm in about 6 to 7 inches of water. So that gives you an idea of just how much the river flooding has risen since just Saturday alone. So our drive from Little Rock to Pine Bluff, the highways were pretty bad because of the rainfall. Once we got to Pine Bluff is when we really started seeing damage. There's still debris in the roadways. There's trees that have been knocked over. Just about 100 feet away from us, there is a power line that's actually down. Entergy just showed up within the last 30 minutes and are assessing the scene.
There's nowhere for the water to go.
Residents of the Willow Beach neighborhood have spent a week preparing for this historic flood.
Right now we got about 4 houses that are in the water.
John Santoro moved to Willow Beach in 2004 and says he's never seen anything like this.
So this is the first time we've ever seen sandbagging out here, and it's the worst we've ever seen, and it's the worst a lot of the people that's lived out here from day one has ever seen.
Yeah. Actually, you need room.
A couple miles down the road, volunteers at the Scott Fire Department fill sandbags. This while the Old River levee is at risk of breaching.
With a 3-foot diameter hole under the levee, and hoping that it don't blow out and make it worse.
Scott Fire Chief Ron Meyer says several hundred acres of farmland next to the levee have already flooded.
If it comes through, we've got a lot of homes in this area that will be affected that the levee is protecting right now.
Authorities are putting out warnings to those near the levee to prepare to leave at a moment's notice.
Prepare yourself for a quick leave if you need to, personal belongings and things of value to you.
With homes already underwater in Scott, Chief Meyer says their focus is protecting whoever they can.
I think everybody's a survivor, and we're just trying to do what we can to assure that no further damage happens to some of the other homes in here.
Santoro describes it as heartbreaking.
It brings you to tears many times because it's just, this is their livelihood.
Cassie's mother, Judy Compton Kimsey, was engaged to a man named Brandon Rhodes when Cassie disappeared. He is now in jail in Independence County on several charges unrelated to Cassie's disappearance. He says he now wants to talk about what happened to Cassie. Brandon Rhodes wrote me a letter saying, "I am willing to do whatever it takes to bring closure to Judy and once and for all put this Cassie case to a close. There's only so much a man can keep bottled up inside of him. It's time the truth was presented to everyone." The request to interview Brandon that Channel 7 put into the Independence County Jail and the Independence County Sheriff's Office have gone unanswered. Tina Storrs, a private investigator with Halo's Investigations, and I decided to go up to the jail on a Saturday for visitation to talk to Brandon.
I'm a little nervous but excited. I'm hoping that he's going to give us some information that we've needed for such a long time.
Prior to our visit to the Independence County Jail, Tina and I have both been in contact with Brandon through letters. We called the day before and were told it would not be a problem for us to see him for visitation. He was listed on the Sheriff's Office website as an inmate at the jail, and we were told the day before that he was in custody. Since we were there for visitation and not for a formal interview, we were not allowed to bring in a camera or recording device, so none of what happened next was recorded. When you get to the jail for visitation, you walk up to the main entrance and you press a button on an intercom and tell someone on the other line who you're there to visit. Tina and I told them we were there to see Brandon Rhodes, and the woman told us he was no longer in custody at the Independence County Jail. But the night before, when we called, we were told he was in custody.
We rang the bell to say we were here to see Brandon Rhodes, and I spelled his last name out. They told us that he was not here any longer. So we asked where. They wouldn't give us the location.
We were told for privacy purposes they could not tell us where Brandon Rhodes was currently located. Brandon was still listed as an inmate on the jail's website, and we called the next day and were told Brandon Rhodes was still booked into the Independence County Jail.
But I'd like to know what's going on with him.
So the straw man is basically you against the weight. There's no other factors, there's no excuses.
The Iron Fed Warehouse is the only gym of its kind in all of Central Arkansas.
That was one of the things, well, I guess we're going to have to get our own stuff to be able to
trained that way.
At strongman competitions, contestants throw stones, lift cars, toss logs. But when it comes to training, some start a little smaller, like flipping a 120-pound tire.
There you go. Get it. Good job. Good job.
That's hard.
But for co-owner of the Iron Fed warehouse, Michael Triska, it's been a long road to strongman.
I was a very insecure teenager, facing the world and not knowing where you want to be, if I could be successful.
And overcoming those insecurities has always been the goal.
And then I figured out how to transform my body and made goals and started accomplishing them. And that's when I learned how to apply myself.
And now years later, Triska with the 2 other owners decided to open the gym to build a community.
It's not like a one-on-one competition to where everybody's just necessarily trying to beat you. Everybody pushes you and helps you.
We just bring community together to encourage strongman lifting, just build strength, character, just people understand that they can go further than they believe.